Dr. Jill Biden is an educator, a mother, and a grandmother. In her duties as vice president's wife, finds time to bring attention to a lot of important causes.
Along with the First Lady Michele Obama, Dr. Biden helped launch Joining Forces. It's a nationwide initiative calling on Americans to rally around our military families. And I got the unique opportunity to tag along with Dr. Biden on a trip that was personal for both of us.
Hi, Dad.
Thank you for saving our country.
I miss you.
And I can't wait till you get home.
I miss how we wrestle a lot and how we play video games together.
Just want to say I miss you. Please be safe.
These are the faces of our military families, the children of the men and women who defend our country. It's a tight-knit group, one that I was lucky enough to be a part of growing up with a father in the Air Force. And it's a cause that's very close to Dr. Jill Biden, too. Her father served in World War II, and her son, Beau, was Army National Guard and deployed to Iraq for a year.
He left 1 month before we were elected. So we were out campaigning and we were seeing his unit off. And it was a tough year. It was a tough year for the Biden family. It was a tough year for his children.
Thank you so much for inviting us along. Dr. Biden invited me on a trip to Fort Riley, Kansas, an Army base home to the 1st Infantry Division with a population of 50,000, nearly 8,000 children. In the heart of the country, the families here are also the backbone of the military, repeatedly called to deploy to places like Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kuwait.
This is his 7th time deploying, so I've had some experience with him leaving, but definitely sometimes that you really miss him a lot.
Lauren DeLeonardis' dad is currently serving overseas as her mom battles lupus, for which she's on chemotherapy.
He is concerned, but he knows that me and my mom can get through this because we have each other's backs. It makes me really happy knowing that just him simply being here makes a difference for our future.
Being a military kid also means moving often.
Hawaii to Alaska, Alaska to Alabama, and then Alabama to here.
I think especially at this age when you're into clubs and into sports, and it's got to be difficult to think about moving to another place, and you know, it's got to be challenging for all of you.
By middle school, most of these children have moved on average 6 to 9 times.
The teachers really care about me.
Dr. Biden spent time in the kids' schools and also in their homes, having dinner with 150 women whose husbands are currently deployed. Rebecca Ford is raising 3 boys under 5, almost all on her own.
One of my children, he does not know who his dad is. My middle child has no clue, doesn't understand, and sleeps with me every night because he's a little concerned that I'm gonna up and leave.
Back in Washington, Dr. Biden is focused on her initiative, Educate the Educators.
They are my everyday heroes. Teachers' colleges have stepped up to educate people going into education so that they will realize that there are military children in their classroom, and to celebrate those children and make their transitions easier for them.
As an educator, you have to be very proud, but also as a military mom, it's 2 of your passions perfectly in sync.
Well, I've seen it with my own grandchildren. Yeah. In my granddaughter Natalie's school, her teacher put a picture of Beau's unit outside the classroom door so that every time the class walked into the classroom, they saw that Natalie's daddy was at war.
With still so much she wants to accomplish in office, Dr. Biden says she does have some regrets as their time at the White House draws to a close.
I really do feel that Joe would have made a great president. One of his strengths is compromise. Maybe America missed an opportunity. I don't know. It just wasn't the right time.
We need somebody who maybe is a compromiser in chief at this point in our life.
Yes.
Speaking of the political campaign, your husband, the vice president, said this week he'd like to see a woman as president. What about you?
You know, I feel the same way as Joe feels. I think, of course, I'd like to see a woman as president. I'd like to see more women in the Senate and as governors in the House, and, you know, in all fields.
Have you ever thought about a future in politics?
Never.
No. You're happy
you
to
hear
be.
how fast that came out of my mouth?
I know Al asked Mrs. Obama this very question, so I will pose it to you as well. What will you be doing January 21st, 2017, of course, the day after the inauguration?
I will be putting on my sneaks and going for a run alone.
I like that. What do you want your legacy to be?
I think it's a legacy is for someone else to determine what your legacy would be. I knew I couldn't come to Washington and just live Joe's life, do politics. I knew I had to keep teaching. I mean, that's my life's work, and that's what I'm most proud of. So to be an independent woman, I guess.
Bringing it back to those amazing families that we met at Fort Riley, what is it that you want us to remember about them?
They are resilient. We cannot forget them. We have to keep working to keep the military a part of our culture. They are sacrificing for us, and that we really have to celebrate who they are.
And you see, she's so passionate about supporting our military as well as education. So here it's bringing it all together. And if you want to see more of my interview with Dr. Biden, just head to our website, today.com.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.